Mabuhay! Welcome back to our channel. This is Daryl again. In today's video, I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can learn Spanish on your own. So, let's just get right into the video. Before anything else, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you who have been supporting our channel. It means a lot to me. And so far, we have reached 604 followers. And hopefully this year, we're gonna build a bigger community and we can learn from each other. I've always thought that this channel is not just for you to learn something from me, but in another way, I want to learn from people as well. And that's why I just put learn with Daryl, because you can learn anything from me and we can go a long way by just improving ourselves, learning together. I don't know if that makes sense, girl. But that's just the reality. We can really learn a lot from each other. Anyway, since it's the beginning of the year, I've planned some things that I will release in our channel, so watch out for that, and it will involve a lot of things related to language learning, the Spanish language, and also my life as an English teacher, a language assistant here in Madrid. So let's just start our video. So language learning has been one of my fascinations growing up in the Philippines. Having read a lot of stories about Jose Rizal, our national hero, I got really inspired to take up foreign languages at the University of the Philippines, where I graduated. And for me, it's one of the things that I really wanted to do, because speaking a foreign language and being able to communicate with other nationalities in their own mother tongue is just amazing. And I told myself, probably I can do that as well. Since Spanish is one of those languages I could say easy for Filipinos to learn, I was thinking that yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. And so today, I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can learn Spanish on your own. So, are you ready? So, let's start. Since every one of us is probably at home doing our work and taking care of our kids, or just doing whatever at home, because of the lockdown, we have been restricted, and so we have a lot of time actually to kill, and I think learning a new language is one of the things that you should do this 2021. And here are some of the list of things that I consider important if you want to learn a new language without actually spending a lot of money. So, one of the things that I always tell my students if they want to learn Spanish fast is they have to learn, number one, they have to learn basic grammar. So, Daryl, why do you say so? Why is grammar important? Isn't it that we just need to learn it naturally? Yes, that is also true. However, if Spanish is not your mother tongue and not everyone speaks to you in that language, then it would be nice to actually learn the grammar so that you can learn how to conjugate verbs. And by knowing how to conjugate verbs, then you'll be able to speak fluently, because you're going to be able to use your own sentences when you are expressing what you want to mean. So for me, one of the best ways for you to start learning a language is have a basic grammatical background of the language. And so it's really important to know how to conjugate alongside learning vocabulary. So that's number one. Number two, número dos. Read, underline, and look up for words. As you are reading a lot of articles or you are reading stuff, it may be a children's story, you can start reading and eventually underlining the words that you don't understand. And what do we do next? Look for those words in the dictionary. So, as we all know, these days people use a lot of gadgets when it comes to reading. So you can do that on your iPhone or whatever mobile phone you use, tablet or Kindle, and you can underline these words that you don't know. And later on, look up for these words and learn them by heart. In that way, you not only build your vocabulary, but you get to practice every time you see some words, and it becomes a habit of just reading those same words over and over again. Numero tres. Number 3. Watch Netflix. Watch YouTube. If you want to improve faster in not just learning Spanish but other languages, then immersing yourself in videos in situations where the language is spoken is really a good thing to do. So for me, listening and watching people do their daily activities in that particular language that we're learning is really essential. You may probably wonder, like, Daryll, so do I watch those videos using the subtitles in English or subtitles of the target language? Well, if you're a beginner, I would suggest that probably you can start watching them using English subtitles, but if you are intermediate to advanced, then you can start watching those videos using the Spanish subtitles. Numero 4. Travel to a Spanish-speaking country. Not everyone has the luxury of doing that, but if you have the chance of going to another Spanish-speaking country, which is not limited to just Spain, but also to other Latin American countries, then do so. I encourage you to do that because you'll be immersed in the language, and also you'll be able to practice more because you get a lot of questions from people and they're gonna be curious, and you'll be curious as well on how to say things and express yourself. So for me, go to another country where the language is spoken. However, since we are experiencing lockdowns everywhere around the world, it's definitely really difficult to travel. So how do we at least experience that Spanish-speaking environment? Then there's a lot of platform online where you can go to. Before, I used to go to Live Mocha, Busu, and some similar platforms where you get to encounter different native speakers of the languages that we're learning. And it's like a language exchange. So some of them are learning English and you're learning Spanish, so you help each other out. Keep a Spanish journal. So honestly, when I was learning the language, I didn't really have a specific journal for Spanish, but I think that having one is an asset that everyone should have. So the idea is to actually write a sentence or two, or even a paragraph every day about what you did during that day. Actually think of words in your native language and eventually writing it down in the target language. So you get to ask yourself questions like, how do I say to clean, or to go to the park, or how do I do that in past simple? So these things like really help you in writing. So I guess it's a good practice as well, because later you need to like look up for words that you don't know, and by doing that repetitively every day, you learn something. So that's it. Numero 7, take some online classes. I've always been telling you that these things are things that you can do by yourself if you have the luxury of attending online classes. Most of the time, I recommend my students to go to Instituto Cervantes. It's around Manila, it's around Makati. I think they changed to Makati now, so you can probably see them there. They have their office. But in some other countries, Instituto Cervantes is quite a popular language institute for learning the Spanish language. So if I were you, I'd really go there and inquire for the tuition fee for the courses. If you have previously attended one, then they would assess you and put you in your appropriate level. Numero 8 is get a Spanish tutor. I know that probably most of you don't have time or money to do that, but if you really want to hone your skills, in speaking, and if you want to be corrected and if you have doubts, then getting a Spanish tutor as well is really helpful, especially if you are taking official exams like DELE, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 or C2. So it depends on you. So for me, language tutors are there, guide you. They're not going to do everything for you, but they're there to guide you. Learn essential skills that you need to learn to pass an exam, for instance. Número 9, download some Spanish apps. One of the Spanish apps that I'd recommend is Duolingo. I've been using that and my friends as well. And it really helps you a lot when it comes to building vocabulary and learning small pieces of things every day if you don't have time. So if you want to start learning another language, then Duolingo is probably one of the right apps for you. Well, this is not sponsored, but yeah, I love Duolingo. So here are the 10 tips that I can give you to learn the Spanish language on your own. Número 1. Spend an hour a day answering or studying grammatical exercises. Spend an hour a day practicing and studying grammar. Número 2. Read, underline, and look up for new words. Read, underline, and look up for new words. Número 3. Watch TV shows. Watch TV shows. Número 4. I think this one, we cannot really do it this time, but if you can, then you can travel to Spanish-speaking countries. Número 5. Spend some time in a Spanish-speaking environment. You don't have to do it outside, you can just do it at home, watching, listening, and doing all this stuff online. Número 6. Keep a Spanish journal. Keep a Spanish journal. Número 7. Take some Spanish courses. Take some online Spanish courses. Número 8. Get a Spanish tutor. Get a Spanish tutor. Número 9. Download some Spanish apps. Download some Spanish apps. And número 10. Download some games or play games in Spanish. Play games in Spanish. Muy bien. Thank you so much, guys, for watching our video for today. I hope that you learned something new from our channel. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'm gonna see you soon. Ciao!